Today, we're going to trace the absolutely incredible journey of social media. We're talking about how it went from being a simple way to connect with a few friends into a force that is, quite literally, reshaping our world in real time.
And really, it all boils down to this one question. How did this happen? The answer isn't just about cool tech. It's about human psychology. It's about economics. And yep, it's about power itself. I mean, this timeline just puts the sheer scale of that change into perspective. In less than 20 years, we went from, poking friends on a campus network to influencing national elections and completely redrawing cultural maps. It's kind of wild.
To really get our heads around this, we've got to go right back to the start. The origin story wasn't some grand plan for world domination, not at all. It was actually something way more simple.
You see, the initial idea was pretty ordinary. A digital phone book, basically, for college kids. But what Zuckerberg and his team stumbled upon almost immediately was that they hadn't just built a simple tool. Oh no, they had tapped into a deep, powerful current of human nature.
They quickly realized these platforms were a direct pipeline to our most basic human needs and, our anxieties, our deep desire to be seen, our need to feel validated, our fear of being alone. This wasn't just about connecting. It was about satisfying the very things that make us human.
And this brings us to what makes social media addiction, so unique. Think about it. Unlike almost any other major addiction you can name, it has two things going for it that are just unprecedented. It is completely legal for adults, and it is totally 100% free to use. That combination? It's a powerful one.
So you take this deep understanding of what makes us tick, you combine it with a zero-cost, zero-friction model, and what do you get? You get the recipe that allowed these platforms to scale to a size that is just hard to even wrap your head around.
I mean, just look at these numbers. The active user bases for the top platforms. We're not talking millions here, we're talking billions. Meta alone basically controls a huge chunk of our digital lives.
And when you add it all up, you land on this just staggering number. 4 billion active users. Seriously, 4 billion. Okay, but what does 4 billion even mean? Let's put that into perspective. That is half of every single person on Earth, not just in wealthy countries, but across the entire globe. That kind of reach is it's historic.
So, you have this massive audience. How does that actually translate into real-world impact? Well, it becomes a force that has completely remixed global culture through social networking. And it all started with a pretty simple observation about how we all communicate.
The founders realized that, at a fundamental level, most humans find writing text to be, difficult. It takes effort. So the evolution of content was a natural move toward what's easier and just way more captivating for our brains. First photos, and then the ultimate prize, video.
And this quote, it just nails the whole aesthetic that platforms like Instagram created. With new tech like HDR, photos became hyper-saturated, almost exaggerated. The point wasn't really to capture reality anymore. It was to create a version of reality that would grab your attention in a super crowded feed. And believe it or not, the real-world consequences of this have been massive. This visual feedback loop, seeing an amazing place, wanting to go there yourself, and then sharing your own Insta-worthy shot, has arguably been a more powerful driver of the global travel craze and even over tourism than any single economic factor.
But look, the impact goes way, way beyond just where we take our vacation photos. Social media has fundamentally rewired the entire circuit of political communication and power.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The old model was a one-way street, right? Politicians spoke through the mass media, which then broadcast to the public. The new model, it's a direct, two-way superhighway between politicians and the public, with social media as the pavement.
So what does that actually mean? Well, the consequences are profound. Politicians can now speak directly to their base, completely unfiltered. A single person's opinion can be amplified 1,000,000 times over through shares. And for activists, it's become an absolutely essential tool for organizing everything from local protests to full-blown revolutions.
So all this direct, super amplified communication, it sounds great, right? But it comes with a massive built-in flaw. It creates a dilemma for every single one of us trying to navigate this new world. And this brings us to a concept called popularity contest supremacy. And it's really simple when you think about it. These systems are built to promote whatever is popular, not necessarily what is true. An engaging lie will always travel faster and farther than a boring truth. And this is the core trade-off. You see it, right? We might have escaped the top-down control of the old media gatekeepers, but we've walked straight into a world where we're vulnerable to manipulation by the crowd, by viral misinformation, and by popularity itself.
So how do you navigate this? I mean, what do you do? Well, the author offers up his personal strategy. He says he doesn't just rely on old media or what's trending on social media, he builds a third axis of information, a small, curated list of trusted experts in different fields to cross-reference everything he sees.
Now, as staggering as all these changes are, it is so important to remember that this story is far from over. I mean, this evolution is still in its very, very early stages. And the reason it's going to keep evolving is actually pretty simple. The technology will change, for sure, but the underlying human desires it taps into, those won't. As long as we feel lonely or anxious or have that deep need to be recognized, these platforms are going to have a powerful hold on us. And we're going to end with this, a final and I think wonderfully ironic twist from the author of our source material. After dissecting this entire global phenomenon, he admits he pretty much stays away from it all. For him, the time and energy it takes to constantly fact-check and sift through the noise is just too high a price to pay. And that's a final thought that leaves us all to ask, for us, is the price worth it?